Hello! In this video I'm going to show you how you can translate text from one language into another language. Before you can start, please make sure that you have a developer account at PIPEFORCE. To get one, you can create a new trial at pipeforce.io or just drop us a message at support@pipeforce.io. Furthermore, you need the CLI tool to be installed. You can get it and download it for free at devdocs.pipeforce.io. Okay, before we start, let's think about what could be a usual use case for translating text from one language into another. And one use case could be that you have a customer with a customer request, with a question in a foreign language, for example in German. And this customer sends that message typically to the help desk. And the help desk then reviews that message and usually translates that message into the target language of the manufacturer or the consultant or the engineers. In this case, let's assume that the manufacturer is a Chinese-speaking person. And instead of sending the customer request to a help desk, what you could also do is that the customer sends that request to a PIPEFORCE pipeline. And this pipeline is automatically translating that message into the target language, into English or Chinese, for example. Okay, let's take a look how that looks like in the pipeline. So here you can see the typical PIPEFORCE workbench. At the left side you can see the workspace structure. And at the bottom I already opened the terminal with the PIPEFORCE command line. And here as usual I'm gonna create a new app. Let's name it support app. And as you can see, the typical app structure was created for us. You don't need to change anything in here. Leave everything as it is. And then in the next step, we're gonna create a new pipeline inside of the support app. And let's name that pipeline, for example, translate pipeline. You can choose whatever name you want. And then the pipeline file was automatically created for us. As usual, there's this hello world example in it, which we can remove. And then we directly can start writing the pipeline to translate our text. At first, I'm gonna search for a command which can help me to translate that text. And to find that command, I'm just starting typing, and let's assume maybe something with translate I can find. And yes, there is here a command which says in the documentation, translates the given text to the given target language. This makes sense. So let's use this command. And as you can see, there are two parameters. The first parameter is the text parameter for the input of the text. So we just put the text to be translated here. In the next parameter, you can see that it should be translated to the English language. Here you can set different target languages. Currently there are I think 5 or 6 supported. It depends on which translation engine is connected to PIPEFORCE. You can find any information about the supported languages in the reference documentation about the translate command. I think there's English supported, French supported, Italian, Russian, Chinese, and I think 1 or 2 more. Just take a look in the reference document and you will find these languages. Let's leave that English translation for the moment. And in the next step, what we're gonna do with the translated message, let's send it via email, for example. So I'm typing here email and hope that there's a command available to do so. Yes, there is. Here we find it, mail.send command sends the given message as email. Yes, and we use that. And as target email, we're gonna use a temp email address I just created for this tutorial. Let's assume this is the email address of the manufacturer. This parameter we don't need. This also, here is the subject of the email. So we just set here, for example, new customer request. Model we also don't need. We don't cover that in this tutorial. No attachments. And the message is the email message body we want to send to that manufacturer, which is in the body. And here it is important to understand that the translate command is translating this text into the target language, in this case English, and then puts the translated text into the body of this pipeline. And the body is an implicit variable you can access using this construct here, which is a pipeline expression language. And then we send this email to the manufacturer. Okay, let's try out. We're going to use the pipeline command to execute an existing local pipeline, which is located here. So this is our pipeline file, this file here, and now I'm just gonna execute it. And as you can see, the German text here has been successfully translated to "Hello, I have problems with the product." And additionally to that output, which is by default content of body, there should also be an email sent to this email address. Let's have a look into that email account. And as you can see, yes, it is arrived. Subject is new customer request, and in the body we can see the English text. For example, an English-speaking manufacturer. What you could also do is now try out different languages. For example, let's translate it to Chinese, which is this shortcut. Let's execute it again. And let's see what happens now. And as you can see, this is translated to Chinese. And to make sure this is really translated correctly, we're going to use Google Translate, and if I put it in here, you can see that the translation is correct. It says, "Hello, there's a problem with my product," and in German it would be, "Hello, es gibt ein Problem mit meinem Produkt." Okay, works. And also let's take a look into the email, whether this new Chinese email was sent. And yes, now the manufacturer got the Chinese email with the request from the customer. So as you can see, there have been only two commands, just translate the text, which can come from anywhere, for example via email from the customer, or via ticket system which was connected to PIPEFORCE and then just pipes the message into that pipeline. And the second part is the mail send command, which sends the translated text to the manufacturer. And for sure you could then make this pipeline even bigger or create a new pipeline to get the request back from the manufacturer and then feed that feedback or that reply from the manufacturer back into the ticket system, or sending a reply back to the customer if you want. The pipeline is the glue between these two worlds, and it's very easy to set up and to use. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that short tutorial. Please subscribe, stay tuned. Hope to see you soon. Bye.